America had a choice between a man that some were saying had all the potential and signs of age induced dementia, or a man with all the signs of clinical narcissistic delusion. And the question before me was, who do I want to lead us? The white evangelical Christian church said I had to pick the one with the narcissistic delusion, even though I have seen people myself who have been kicked out of churches for doing less than this man has done, who have been shunned by churches for doing some of the exact same stuff this man has done. And I know that such a person as this man would never even be allowed to preach in a congregation, let alone lead one. Ironically, though, my economist actually agreed with the white evangelical Christian church that it didn't matter what kind of person he was personally. What mattered was what he could do for me. So, ironically, the white evangelical Christian church and all the worldly powers of money and wealth are both, ironically, for once, in complete agreement about what my choice should look like, and it appeared clear. Yet for some reason, I cannot shake this image of that man mocking a handicapped person out of my mind. And I remember the story that Luke Magnan told me of standing up against the popular bully in high school, in his high school shop class, when the bully was picking on this other kid who was suffering some of the outcomes of fetal alcohol syndrome. And I remember stories of Luke from when he was in 5th grade, that despite being the popular kid in school, Luke took extra time to help the more challenged kids in his class, without thought for what other people would think of him, without thought for whether or not he would be getting behind himself. And as a result of Luke doing that, other kids began to operate that way as well. And that's when I realized that our hope is not actually in the intellectual or emotional capacities of either of these two men, of either option. Our hope as humans is to summon up our inner Luke Magnan and simply do the right thing, regardless of the outcome to me personally. Not just in this election, which is a blink of the eye, but to summon the inner Luke Magnan in every action of every day. And I realize that shame is going to insist that we look out for ourselves here, financially, economically, socially, emotionally. It's the thing that shame cares about, that we're looking out for ourselves. It's there to protect us, regardless of the outcome to others. And my challenge is to resist what shame is asking me to do and make choices for the less fortunate, regardless of what shame or my wallet or my church is telling me to do. And then I wondered to myself, which of these two men look more like Luke Magnan? And I made my choice.